On this episode of Outlook TV, the Revolt Fashion Show.
The U.S. Prop 8 No Hate campaign comes north of the border.
The trans community's signature calendar, brought to you by T-Bodies.
Barracuda Party at Club 560.
Spencer Chandra Herbert, the MLA working for you.
Gay B&B in the city of Kelowna.
Our very own Fred Camperman with the gay agenda.
Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Dan Doomshaw. Thanks for tuning in.
That's a very nice jacket you're wearing this evening, Dan.
Well, thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, it's a designer, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like your vest.
Thanks. It's not.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the queers do know a lot about fashion, that's for sure.
We sent our fashion reporter, Stephen Schelling, to check out a fashion show called the Revolt Fashion Show.
Ooh, Stephen.
Stephen Schelling in Vancouver, in the industrial part of town, the less than glamorous part of the city, which tonight's going to get an injection of fashion from Australian-born Canadian designer Blake Hyland and his new Revolt collection, showing tonight. This isn't a typical runway show. You have 8 pieces and you're showing them on podiums. What was the reasoning behind that?
I just didn't want it to be a typical runway show. I just sort of, they don't really suit my style. I prefer to sort of present them in a way that's a bit more, I don't know, people can get sort of a bit more up close and personal and look at the detail a bit more close. I find runway shows are over in a matter of minutes and people don't really appreciate or can really see the true detail in something that's being presented. And it just helps people interact more with the clothing and what's being shown.
And there's a lot of snakeskin, a lot of leather in this collection. There was in your previous collections as well. So is that something that you enjoy working with? Is that a material that really talks to you?
For sure, yeah. It's something that just I've always gravitated towards. It's got a realness to it. The snakeskin I used was I deconstructed about 40 snakeskin bags and reworked them into a pair of pants. So I sort of salvage things, chop them up, and then rework them into a new garment. And that's another thing. I feel like there's so much goes to waste in the world that I want to try to utilize that and make it into something new and sort of expose people to that a bit more, that things aren't rubbish just because they're dirty or a bit worn out. Yeah, funnily enough, I don't think I've ever made myself a garment. I do it mainly just to show, but I don't really wear any of my own things. Actually, I wear this jacket I made, but and these pants. But besides that,
besides everything you're wearing.
Well, this is for today only. Today only, I was like, okay, I've got to make myself some stuff.
And what is your favorite piece in this collection?
My favorite piece, I actually like this jacket here, the rubber one with metal. I found both the materials extremely hard to work with. Something I've never worked with before. I suppose the snakeskin pants I like also, just because, I don't know, I think by themselves they're just a unique piece and they sort of, catch people's eyes.
Art meets industrial at Blake Hyland's 2012 Revolt Show. In Vancouver, I'm Stephen Schelling for Outlook TV. And I may go slip into those snakeskin pants.
And now for a bit of international news. Barb Snellgrove is catching up with the organizers of the No Hate campaign.
Now, the No Hate campaign, that's an American-based thing to repel Prop 8, the legislation that bans gay marriage there. Yeah, so Barb's going to find out why they're coming to Vancouver for the first time and what their message is for us Canadians.
言葉は違ってもメッセージは変わらん。
All shapes.
Todos colores.
همه باورها.
Todas las lenguas.
Olo agapi. No hate.
憎しみはいけない。
Geen haat.
Hi, I'm Barb Snellgrove. I'm down at the Renaissance Harborside in Vancouver. We're here with the No Hate campaign, which has come to town for the very first time. You can join us. We're going to go check it out. Come and join me. We're here with Jeff Parsley, who is one half of the founding team of No Hate Campaign, and he is the co-founder, of course, and he's also the executive producer. Welcome to Vancouver, Jeff.
Thanks so much. We're glad to be here.
It's an amazing event. What made you decide to come to Vancouver?
Well, we definitely try to focus a lot on where our supporters want us to go and where they feel like they need, the tool of the photo to speak out with.
What made you decide to start this campaign?
We were never activists prior to Proposition 8, so when that passed and we were kind of taking part in the rallies and protests in West Hollywood, just the feeling there was overwhelming and it was emotional, and we just kind of wanted something that we could keep the message going and speak out. And so, Adam being a photographer, it kind of came natural to do a photo. So, we just posted that photo and just started, it seemed to create its own dialogue. So people were saying, well, what's this photo mean? What's the duct tape? What's the no hate mean? So it kind of gave us the opportunity to explain it to people.
I think the No Hate campaign has been incredibly successful. I think that was proven in January when the Proposition 8 in California was overturned by the state, which is fantastic. And I think that they've received a lot of social media influence around the world to the point where other countries like Canada are now participating in the campaign.
We're here to support the No Hate campaign. It's the first one that's ever been done in Canada, so we're really excited about it, and there's still a lot to be done in terms of getting the word out and supporting such a great cause, so we're really happy that it's finally here.
What's in the future for the No Hate campaign?
I mean, we're just gonna go anywhere that we're needed. And I feel like there's a lot of places that we're needed, and it's not just California, and it's not just the United States. This is a human issue that we're dealing with, and it's not even just marriage equality. There's so many issues that involve discrimination that people can interpret the No Hate message to speak out again.
We need equality in this world. We are not in archaic times anymore, and people should be loved for who they are. Not what religion, not their nationality, not their sexual preference. They should be loved just as a human being, and I truly believe that. I'm very compassionate about this movement.
And now checking in with the trans community. Our reporter, Clemency Blaze, visits with some organizers of the T-Bodies calendar.
And the 2013 calendar will be available at Pride this year.
Clement?
I had an opportunity to sit down with Shane Forster and Jack Fox of T-Bodies Productions, where they enlightened me on what they are all about.
T-Bodies Productions is a company that strives to promote trans awareness and also bring together the trans community. We were sitting around kind of talking about how there was a very limited trans awareness, visibility, so we thought, okay, well, why don't we create some sort of project? And we thought, something fun that kind of is visually appealing and, we could get people together doing it. We thought, why don't we do a calendar? So we started creating a calendar in 2008, and we launched the first one of 3 now, Metamorphosis, in 2009.
Their calendar Metamorphosis has touched different corners of the world.
The calendar itself has actually traveled around the world, so vicariously, which we operate vicariously through it. Basically, it's been to the United Kingdom, Japan, Australia, Philippines. We get people purchasing it from all over.
Also, along with going to different prides, we've circulated to different youth drop-ins and also universities to talk about what it is to be trans and try to spread some more awareness.
The beginning stages of calendar creation was a challenge for the boys, but with hard work and dedication, it gradually became easier.
The first time around it was a little difficult because no one really knew who we were, but after that we just put a call out on our Facebook, Twitter, and people are writing us, and they're even asking before we even actually put the call out if they can be in it and when they can be in it. We're not picky, but like body type or where in the transition they are. We have guys who, have been on testosterone for 1 week, and then we have guys who've been on testosterone for like 15 years. Yeah. So really what it comes down to is, if they want to come and do it, we will take their picture.
The casting process has proven to be a great networking opportunity.
It's been kind of cool over the process of a few years because we've been able to connect with guys that we never met before, and we've gone and been able to spend some time with them, and now we've got this ongoing connection. So we started creating events. We started with Trans Haunt, which was a few years ago. It was like a Halloween event that was kind of geared towards bringing trans people out. We held it at formerly Lick, and brought out quite a good number of people. And so from there, we kind of did some more club events.
You can catch the boys of T-Bodies Productions on Facebook and on their website at www.t-bodies.ca. From Whistler, BC, this is Clement C. Blaze for Outlook TV.
Well, unfortunately, it's time for us to take a break now.
But hang on, because when we come back, we will tell you about a great party that happened called Barracuda.
If you go down to the woods today,
you're in for a big surprise. If you go down to the woods today.
I'm Matt from Barracuda, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back, and now the story that you've been waiting for, some news from the party front.
Our reporter Scott McInnes was at the Barracuda Party.
This is Scott McInnes reporting live from 560 in Vancouver from the seasonal Barracuda. Over the past 20 years, the Bears have exploded onto the queer scene, bringing with them some of the best parties to be found.
We started Barracuda as a response to what was currently on offer in the bear scene in San Francisco. So there was dances, but they were only every few months, and they were very expensive. So we decided to do a reasonably priced party that was every month. Well, I started in San Francisco 6 years ago at a small bar, and then after 2.5 years, we decided that maybe it could work in other cities. So we went to places like Seattle and Portland, and then we decided maybe it would work in Vancouver. Well, I have a thing for bears. So I have a thing for furry-faced guys of all shapes and sizes, and that's what's represented at Barracuda. Like, there are guys with no facial hair that come here, but it's 90% people with facial hair. Skinny guys, really, really big guys, and everything in between. It's pretty much, it's one size fits all here. It's an everyone's scene right now. It's not just a particular look. It's a friendly atmosphere. There's not a lot of attitude at our parties.
What brings you to Barracuda?
The men, primarily the men. You come here to see hot, hot men.
So why Barracuda?
Barracuda's an awesome event, you know. It came to Vancouver for the first time a couple of years ago, and it was a big success. The venue's awesome. Great, good-looking bears coming out to play. It's a lot of fun.
Well, it's the best place to hang out with bears here in Vancouver, so figure I'd give it a shot.
Massage at Barracuda, yeah. You know, give a little rub down. That's what guys want.
Why Barracuda?
I don't know, I just started going to the parties, like out of town, and I saw it. I got massaged at clubs and at Barracuda, like in San Francisco, at Lazy Bear, that sort of thing. And so when my friend Matt was bringing it to Vancouver, I was like, can I massage at your party? And he said yes. So,
how many Barracudas is this for you?
This is my second. My first one, just after I arrived from South Africa, was in 2010.
A recurring theme of the evening was how the bear community has become more accepting.
It's more inclusive, it's more broad, the definition. So I like it, it's a nice variety of people.
Well, the word bear has kind of expanded over the years. Like, it's not just the typical bear you see with the flannel and the beard and the beer. It's kind of an all-encompassing word now. So many people who are, let's face it, I'm not a bear, but many people have a connection with that community. I mean, it's just like, gays being introduced into society, and all of a sudden now there's all these gays, and there's, everybody has a gay friend, and it's the same thing with the bears. Like, the bears have always been around, but it's now becoming more accepted. And it's a great thing. And the bear communities are still, they're in some cities across North America, they're still very small and they're still kind of set in their ways, but they're becoming more progressive in cities like Vancouver.
For more information on Barracuda or to find a Barracuda near you, go to barracuda.com.
Okay, Rebecca, pop quiz time. Who is the MLA for the Vancouver West End riding?
Spencer Chandra Herbert.
Yes, that's right.
The GBLT community definitely has a friend in Spencer Chandra Herbert, the MLA for Vancouver West End. I caught up with him today on this gorgeous day to see exactly what's been going on in the legislature.
Well, I get to stand up for the people of the West End day in, day out, and I love it. We've got a whole range of issues that we're working on together, and I say we because I'm only as strong as my community. So certainly we've been working on rental housing issues, housing affordability issues. That continues to be a real challenge with people dealing with rent evictions and massively increasing rent bills in their homes. We also have been working together on St. Paul's Hospital. The Liberals wanted to move it out of the neighborhood. We've stood strong and managed to convince them that it needs to stay here in the West. Another issue that I hear a lot about is making sure that our schools are safe for young people, in particular young gay, lesbian, and bi and transgender British Columbians. They do not feel safe in their schools. Only a quarter of all school districts in BC have any substantive policy to deal with that issue. So those are all issues that are important.
There's a huge worry about gay businesses closing their doors on Davie Street and that it's no longer going to be the gayborhood that it was before.
The Davie Village will always be a kind of a gay capital, so to speak, for British Columbia, and I'm very proud to represent those business folks and the community that really loves that strip of our commercial district. I think we just need to make sure that we have great community celebrations, great events, and that we actually go to those businesses and that they work hard to get our business as well, and we'll continue to have that cultural capital there for sure.
Seniors' homes tend to be run by religious groups, and a lot of GBLT seniors are almost going back into the closet. What can be done about that?
Seniors' care in British Columbia is a huge challenge, regardless of your sexual orientation, but if you are GLBT, that's even a bigger challenge, particularly in some homes where the administration or staff may not have the education they need, may not be brought up to speed, so to speak, with where we are in terms of our rights. I'm a proud gay man. It's an honor to serve the gay, lesbian, bi, and trans community. I'll continue to be an advocate, a strong advocate. So I will see the legislation I brought in actually passed to make sure that trans British Columbians are included in our human rights code. I won't rest until we have in all of our schools plans, policy, and action to make sure that our gay, lesbian, bi, and trans youth are supported and celebrated. And I'll continue to advocate for our community and the health system. On and on it goes.
For Outlook TV, I'm Fred Camperman.
All that talk about politics makes me tired. I need a break.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll be right here with more Queer.
Come join us in Toronto for Pride in 2012 from June 22nd through July the 1st.
Come to Toronto, come join us, celebrate, come join us, demonstrate.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Next, we bring you to the city of Kelowna in the interior of BC.
Our reporter Carol Delinko has found a lovely gay B&B.
Carol?
This summer, you may want to take in a different gay destination. Kelowna BC has a new bed and breakfast to offer something to the visiting GLBT community.
Can you tell me a little about your home? It's beautiful.
Well, I just moved here in December from Vancouver, and it's been my dream for a long time to have a bed and breakfast in Kelowna. It's got 4 bedrooms and a nice pool and hot tub out in the backyard, a nice big backyard, and a beautiful view of the lake.
GLBT accommodation has been limited in Kelowna until now.
Do you expect a lot of visitors in the summer here?
Yeah, absolutely. there's not much in the way of accommodation for gay people or gay-friendly accommodation in Kelowna, and I'm the only gay B&B owned B&B in Kelowna itself in the city.
There's a place for GLBT to stay in Kelowna, but what's there to do? Well, the Rainbow Coalition has you covered.
We run a community center in downtown Kelowna. We have activities most nights of most weeks, and every Saturday night we have a rocking social, and we do major dances every 2 months or so. We're of course looking forward to our Pride week that's coming up in Kelowna. That's August 13th to 19th, and our big Pride dance will be on the 18th of August. Barbecues, golf tournaments. I understand we may have a runway talent show coming up, and possibly this year we may be bringing back our Pooches on Parade, which is a wonderful event for folks to bring their man's or woman's best friend along with them, and with prizes and fun for all. Family day in the park.
For a great GLBT getaway, book into Clarence House Bed and Breakfast in Kelowna and check out the Okanagan Rainbow Coalition website for things to do in town. For Outlook TV in Kelowna, BC, I'm Carol Delinko.
And coming up now, we've got Fred Camperman with his gay agenda.
That's right, Fred is going to be looking at gay Republicans.
The oxymorons.
Well, guess who came out? That's right, President Obama has just come out in support of same-sex marriage, just like we have here in Canada. In fact, George Clooney is going to have a coming-out party for him at $35,000 a plate. Now, President Obama said that he evolved to this position. Evolution. Why evolution is something that the Republican Party don't even believe in, let alone get anywhere near same-sex marriage. So I wonder, who is this gay Republican besides an oxymoron? So here's a section that I like to call Talking to Intelligent Americans.
You know, the Republicans running for president are throwing red meat out to their elderly, evangelical, bigoted, rapidly expiring base. What we've seen with gay rights in the United States when a Republican administration takes hold is that they can't be rolled back, but they are not advanced. You're not going to end DADT under a Republican president, but you're not going to pass DADT under a Republican president either. So I'm confident that we're going to win in November, that a Democrat's going to win in November. But, you know, it's disturbing that we have a two-party system, and one of those parties is dedicated to our exclusion, dedicated to discrimination and bigotry. But demographically, we know they're losing, that every day another few thousand GOP anti-gay equality voters die. And that gay equality is the future, and young people, even young evangelicals, even young conservatives, support LGBT equality.
I think it's interesting. Gay Republicans are fascinating because they are buying into a culture that also discriminates against them. It's a weird phenomenon, but at the same time, you know, I respect people who want to do what they want, you know, with their politics and their money or whatever. You know, that's fair. They can have their own opinions, but I think it's weird when people buy into a culture that is discriminatory towards themselves.
I don't know why a straight person would be a Republican. I can't for the life of me figure out why a gay person would be a Republican. You have a party, everybody at the national level has pledged to reinstate DADT, write anti-gay bigotry into the U.S. Constitution, ban adoptions by lesbian and gay couples. Not only opposes marriage, but any recognition for any legal protections for same-sex couples at all. Domestic partnerships, civil unions, no end Employment Non-Discrimination Act. You really have to be some kind of self-hating psychopath, faggot, to be a gay Republican. I don't understand it. And it's a credit to the lesbians that you rarely ever hear about a lesbian Republican. It's always gay dude Republicans. Clearly fags with daddy issues. It's the only way I can possibly understand it.
So there it is, much more clear. And in this next presidential election, I encourage all Americans to get out there and vote often, as they do in Florida. And may the best GBLT-friendly candidate win.
Well, our show is coming to a close, but you know what's coming up soon? Vancouver Pride.
That's right. The big festival, the biggest festival in Vancouver, is coming at the end of July, and they're looking for volunteers. So if you'd like to help make Vancouver Pride happen, you can get in touch with them at the website below. My husband is actually the volunteer coordinator, so please come out and volunteer for Vancouver Pride. You'll make my home life so much better.
And we're also looking for volunteers here on Outlook TV. We're looking in the Toronto and Winnipeg areas as well as here in Vancouver. Please shoot us an email.
Yeah, come join our team. We have a great time covering all the queer issues for you there at home. So come join us.
Please, and don't forget to like us on Facebook.
I'm Dan Doomshaw.
And I'm Rebecca Wyman. Thanks for joining us.